So UFO 50 is an indie game that is being made currently by Spelunky creator Derek Yu along with, his company Mossmouth. And recently on Twitter, or, X, I guess it's called these days, but whatever, I'm still going to call it Twitter. He posted an update on it saying, on the Steam forum, saying that there's probably not going to be a 2023 release, but it's probably going to release in 2024. So we're going to basically talk about what we know about the game and the recent update. So before we get into the recent update, let's just kind of talk about what it is. It's obviously, like I said, it is an indie game, indie action, adventure, strategy RPG. Seems like it's a lot of genres because, like it says, and like you may already know, it is 50 games contained into one game. And something that I think that people don't know about this game, and that I didn't know, is that these 50 games, this is why it's taken so long, is that they're not mini games. They're like decently sized games. That's why, because it was, like I said, it was announced back in 2017, which obviously that's 6 years ago. I'm sure everyone here was in a very different situation 6 years ago. Not going to say how young I was 6 years ago in 2017, just because a lot of people watching this I'd make them feel old. But yeah, it's been in the works for a long time, and obviously, Mossmouth doesn't have thousands of people working there, like Nintendo or something. But yeah, it says a complete different title screens, endings. Some are small arcade-style games, and there are also larger open-world adventures and JRPGs that could take many hours to beat. And that's really fascinating. I'm not going to act like I'm super familiar with retro-style games and can tell you, like, the entire history of them, but me personally, I've never heard of a game like this, and that's what really interests me, is because these days it's hard to find something really unique, and this just seems super unique. So looking more into it, all 50 games are available to play at the start, so you don't have to unlock any of the games, or like Super Smash Bros. You have to unlock almost all the characters. In this game, you just get them all right from the beginning, and you can just pick whatever you want. And obviously, like it says, it's a 32 color palette, so it's not like modern, super amazing graphics, but to me, it doesn't matter. For these, I like games, although I really like games that have amazing graphics, I like games that intentionally don't, because it just has a super unique feel to it. Like, for me, Octopath Traveler, I'm glad that doesn't have amazing graphics. Well, I mean, it does for what it is, but I'm just saying, obviously, it could be more modernized, I guess, but it's not, and I'd like it that way. And I think looking at this, I have the same sort of feeling. And also, there are quite a few of the games, as roughly a third are local multiplayer, including co-op and versus. So it's not just a single player game like Spelunky. And just before we get into the recent update, I want to just read the main thing again, because I kind of skipped over it. From the creators of Spelunky, Downwell, and Catacomb Kids, explore a variety of genres from platformers and shoot 'em ups to puzzle games, roguelites, and RPGs. Our goal is to combine a familiar 8-bit aesthetic with new ideas and modern game design. That is a super interesting proposition, no doubt. So let's look at the recent update. So recent developer update by Mossmouth, which I'm just assuming is Derek Yu. Hey everyone, wanted to pop in for an update on the status of the games. I like how it says games, because it really is it's like many games. And sorry, I'm going to read this in a second. Don't mean to get into a tangent, but I assume this is not going to cost a lot of money, so price to value is going to be pretty good. So no, unfortunately, we won't be releasing this year. I think for the game to make sense, it would have to have been pretty much done in July or August for it to release this year, to give us time to thoroughly test everything without making major changes, to do marketing, etc. And yeah, there hasn't. I saw someone on Twitter X say, they're not going to, jokingly saying they're not going to believe it till they see it in terms of development. And yeah, they definitely haven't really done any marketing for this game, and they need time to do that. So yeah. I've been on projects where we've announced release dates and then made a mad dash to try to finish the game on time while doing everything else required. I can say with a lot of certainty that wouldn't be a great idea for UFO 50 given its quirks. So 2024, yes, seems very likely, as we're getting strong signals that we're finally approaching done. Hopefully we can be out in the first half of the year, but I can't say for sure until we're ready to announce a specific date. So right now, a bulk of their development is going into, number one, finishing the audio for the last eight or so games. 2, working on the library aspect of the collection, which ties everything together. Part of the library is the section you've seen where you simply choose what game you want to play, but without spoiling too much. It's more involved than that, and doing the deeper work on the library is a good sign that we are actually closing in on the end. There's still some polishing left to be done on the 50 games themselves, definitely the smaller part of the work left to do now. And why has it taken so long? Well, it's a big scope, and also Spelunky 2 was made in the middle of it. And it's obviously released now, and it's given them some extra runaway to bring UFO 50 to its full potential. I'm assuming that means money, but I don't know game developer lingo. And he says the way he sees it, it's more than just 50 games in one executable. Personally, I think it's a pretty amazing level of scope and detail for something so cohesive and tightly knit. And the team, so the team is just 6 people total. So this is why, when you have multiple games, not a lot of people, that's why it takes so long. But yeah, overall, that is basically UFO 50 currently where it's at in development, some information about it in general. I wanted to make this video because obviously a lot of my audience is Spelunky, and I just think that, it's a really exciting game. Like, even forgetting the fact that it's being made by the same company and people, it sounds like a really cool game, and I'm glad that if it weren't being made by the creators of Spelunky, I probably might not even know about it, and I definitely won't be making a video on it, most likely. So, 50 games, all unique, and considering the amount of time that it's taken, I think that this is going to be a really unique game, and considering it's not going to probably be very expensive, I'm definitely looking forward to this game, and hopefully you are as well. So anyway, that's the video. Tell me what you think about this game. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'm a YouTuber, so like and subscribe, as we always say. And yeah, thanks for watching.